Today I'm gonna break down, this is part 2 to the video of 5 things that you want to avoid at all costs while you out here in Thailand. These rules are gonna help save you a lot of money, a lot of headache, a lot of heartache, and a lot of trouble, okay? Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna ask y'all go ahead and hit that like in advance, because I'm telling you, this advice that I'm gonna give you is priceless. So here we go. 5 things that you really want to avoid at all costs. Rule number 1, if for any reason at all you find yourself in a bad situation out here, do not ever call the regular police. If you ever find yourself in a bad situation in Thailand and you're in need of emergency emergency services, my recommendation to you is don't deal with the regular police out here. What you want to do is you want to call the tourist police. They're a separate division of the police department out here in Thailand, and it'll be really beneficial. Sawadee Club Officer.
ผมดับพลแสงสุนทรหน่วยบริการตำรวจทางหลวงสาขาครับพอดีนะครับน้องเขาขับรถมาจากกรุงเทพเขาแจ้งว่ารถยางแตกนะครับผมก็เลย
Now the reason I'm gonna recommend that you call the tourist police as opposed to calling the normal police is because if you call the normal police, if you get in a situation and you call the normal police, 9 times out of 10 they will empathize with whatever local individual or establishment that you're having trouble with, because you know they come from a similar background and perspective, so they won't be too empathetic towards your situation. The reason the tourist police will be a lot more helpful is because the local economy depends a lot on tourism. A lot of their money comes from tourists, and so the tourist police, their job specifically is to assist the foreigners or the Falang. This town is known for partying. People come out here to have a good time, enjoy themselves, have a few drinks, link up with the local ladies and things of that nature. My suggestion to you is, wherever you're from, do not engage in any type of recreational drugs. They take that very serious out here. I don't care if it's a little bit of here, if it's whatever recreational narcotics here, accustomed to possibly getting a slap on the wrist for in your home country. Depending on the severity, it can possibly carry a life sentence out here. It's something that they don't play around with, so I suggest that you avoid this at as much as possible. Another rule that I have for you, when you're in the local bars, when you order drinks, you don't pay for the drinks right then. They'll give you a little cup and they'll slip the receipt in it. They call it a bar bin. My advice to you is, every 2 drinks that you have, take your cell phone out and snap a little picture of it. There's a practice out here that's known as bar padding. Okay, bar padding means that when they think you've had a few, you have 3 or 4 drinks, you may ask for go to pay your bill at the end of the day, and when you look, instead of being charged for 3 or 4 drinks, you may see it's 6 or 7 drinks that have been charged to you. But if you're taking snapshots, if you're taking pictures of the receipt, then you know it's hard for them to deny the photo evidence. You have proof of exactly what you drank. I personally, I check my bar tab with every drink that I get, and I actually take a picture every time I order a drink. That way, I leave nothing. I try my best to leave nothing up to the imagination. That's just a piece of advice from me to you. So my fourth suggestion, this one here is for the men. It's called the 3-day rule. When you meet a young lady out here, unless you're trying to get married, unless you're trying to really get married or something like that, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how nice she is to you, do not see the same woman for more than 3 days. These women are very skilled, they're professionals, they know what they're doing, they know how to pull on the heartstrings, they'll treat you nicer than you've ever been treated before. And if you keep seeing the same woman, before you know it, you'll form an emotional attachment, and that is the beginning of a very slippery slope. That's something that you don't want to get into, okay? Okay, like I said, my 5th and final rule, this one is specifically, once again, for the gentlemen. If this one is gonna help you it's gonna save you a big headache, and I'm gonna actually share an experience that I've had with this rule. Yeah, I got caught out there. So the 5th rule is, do not under any circumstance assume the individual that you're speaking to is a female. When you first meet them, or if you're talking to them online, ask them straight up, say, are you a woman, right? There's a lot of false advertising out here. They have something called the lady boy, and with all the apps, the filters on the apps, they can soften their features, and it'll be hard for you to differentiate between the two. So don't be afraid to. They will not be insulted. They will not be offended. Do not be afraid to ask an individual straight up, are you a female? If you don't do that, you're setting yourself up for a big disappointment. So here's my experience. I was on an app called Tinder. I met an individual. I talked to them on the app for about 3-4 hours. We agreed to meet up. So I said, where you want to meet up at? They said, meet me outside my hotel. We'll go, leave from there, go grab some drinks. Okay, not a problem. That sounds like a good idea. So I meet the individual, and this is where my ex-president, Donald Trump, was right. He was right about this, and I advise you to take his advice. Donald Trump said, grab him by the you-know-what. And listen, man, you better off grabbing them by the you-know-what. Do a gut check. So I meet the individual, and I'm legally blind, but even with my vision, I could tell something was a little bit off. So I introduced myself. I said, hello. When I said hello, the individual said, hello. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with your voice? I sound like the what was it, Little Red Robin Hood. Grandma, what's wrong with your voice? The better the boink you with, my dear. One of them situations. So I asked them, and it was like, yo, I'm like, yo, you sound like a dude. Person said straight up, yo, I'm a lady boy. Oh my God, why didn't you tell me? That straight up, this is what I asked. I said, yo, why didn't you tell me that? You didn't ask. That was literally the answer. You didn't ask. And so I'm letting y'all know straight up right now, if you wanna if because if you'd have had a few drinks, that situation may have led to a physical confrontation. So it's best that you play it safe and get confirmation off the ripple. Don't take it for a joke. I don't care how you think they look on the app. There's a lot of false advertising out here, and you want to protect yourself. You want to protect both yourself and the individual, like just in case you have a violent eruption or something of that nature. So once again, if you found any of this information the least bit helpful at all, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, do me a favor, let me know which one of these tips you found to be the most helpful. Which one of these, which one out of the 5 tips you thought was the most helpful? For those of y'all that have traveled out here or that have traveled internationally, if there are any tips or pointers that you can think of that I may have neglected to suggest, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments. Put